The UK's Europe Minister was speaking at the London School of Economics. The start of 2008, he said, should begin with new resolutions.
The European Union itself, I think, could benefit from a period of generating its own resolution. A resolution that says that once and for all the era of introspection is over. A period, an all too long and on occasion counterproductive period of self-obsession about the European Union structures has now come to an end. And it should look much more outwards, beyond the borders of the European Union, rather than its own architecture, which I believe is now settled. It should also resolve to challenge poverty and environmental degradation and climate change, not only within our own borders, but far beyond. Because we all know that, for example, on the environment, climate change doesn't respect national boundaries. Never has, never will. So it's an empty intellectual argument to say that we can simply build some patriotic front behind ever-increasing national borders as a way of protecting us against climate change. And Europe should, of course, as well, resolve to champion free trade, both within its borders and outside of its borders.
The Minister spoke at length on the disadvantages for Britain if it moved away from the European Union.
Britain would be poorer, we would be less influential in the world, and we'd be less safe. We'd be poorer because as a trading nation we rely heavily on our membership of the European Union. Single market of 480 million consumers, the largest, most developed rules-based market in human history, and we have the honour and opportunity to be members of it. Over 3 million British jobs rely on our relationship with the European Union. In every region of the United Kingdom, tens of thousands of people go to work today because of our membership of the European Union. We'd be less influential in the world, as I've alluded to. It's a medium-sized country with a successful economy and professional military forces, of which I'm rightly proud. We would, of course, still have an influence if we weren't members of the European Union. But we would be throwing away that added clout we get from coordinating with our European partners on international policy priorities, such as debt relief in impoverished parts of Africa, Kosovo, or in Burma. We would also be less safe. As we reflect on the EU's work on fighting international crime and terrorism, it does make Britain a safer place. Safety standards in our workplaces, on our roads, on imported goods, have been raised thanks to the European Union. And working with the EU on climate change offers the best chance of safeguarding our long-term safety.
Post-Lisbon, he said, means more cooperation, not federation.
The treaty reinforces a model of European cooperation, not a model of European federation. It gives national parliaments, for the first time, a direct say in EU legislation. It strengthens national leaders' control of EU strategic direction by putting the President of the European Council on a full-time basis. Now, those of you who have studied this, surely we've come to the same conclusion that European leaders have now come to, is that it's ludicrous to have a rotating presidency of such an organisation every 26 weeks. The Lisbon Treaty also reflects and reminds us of our shared heritage of European values. Liberal values of tolerance, respect, free movement, solidarity and social justice. These don't threaten the United Kingdom as some people would have us believe, because these are our values. These are the values that we believe in. These are the values many of us were born with. These are values that reflect our modern history. We help forge these values. We help influence Europe to share these values with others.
A stirring speech reflecting the Minister's commitment to the European Union at present and in the future.